Hi. So today I went on my first date since I relaunched my effort to find my life partner. And it was a very lovely date. It was a guy I met at a party. And first of all, he showed up on time, so handsome and sweet. He even brought me a gift for Christmas, which is something I've never experienced before. We talked about spirituality, about what we were looking for in a relationship. We went for a walk. It was a really nice date. And I realized, he also talked a lot about future dates during the date, which was really good. And after the date, I noticed that I felt really tired. And interestingly, this is something I've experienced a couple times before after dates. And I ended up just not going on a date again with the person because I thought, okay, their energy is draining me. But this time I think I'm going to try again. It's funny because I've talked to a lot of women about their dating experiences, and one theme I hear repeatedly is that on their first date or their second date, they weren't that excited about their husband. In fact, they might have found him a little bit boring. And I didn't find this guy boring. And I've definitely been on dates where I didn't feel a spark, but I went out with the guy again. But I was just noticing that in my body, I felt a little bit tired. And I wondered if that might be my own defense mechanism around connecting with someone who was more likely a secure, stable partner, as opposed to someone who brought up a feeling of adrenaline in me, or if it might be conversely someone who's a bit needy and is actually draining me of my energy. And so I think at the least it's worthwhile continuing to explore and seeing what my energy is. I also find day dates a bit challenging. This date was at 11 in the morning. But in general, I just think, what a wonderful guy. And to be quite honest, I wish that I had come to Croatia to date sooner. I just feel like dating in the United States has become so difficult, at least in the places that I've tried to date, like New York City. And the men here just really are attentive to women in a different way that feels really nice to me. Another concern is the guy is a lot younger than me, and we haven't really brought up age yet, so I'm not sure if he's aware that I'm quite a few years older than him. I didn't really make references to my age, but he made some references to kind of recently getting into his 60s and when his parents were born and such. So I don't know if that's an issue for him. Again, some of the people that I most admire married men 10 years younger than them, so I wouldn't have a problem with a man 10 years older than me. The other thing is that I was thinking about after this date is the idea of mutualism. There was a really great TED talk I listened to recently, Skills for Healthy Romantic Relationships from Joanne Davila. It's a TEDx talk that I think got over 7 million views. And there are 3 qualities that she talks about as skills that people need for healthy relationships. And one of them is mutualism, which is, people asking for what they need. And previously, when I've been dating guys, I get a lot of anxiety around texting. And I was thinking about how I was hoping that this guy would text and that if he texted me, it would be a sign that he liked me. And if he didn't text me, it would be a sign that he didn't like me. And so I started to feel like, what does mutualism mean? And maybe, in my past dating, it hasn't really worked out well. It hasn't lasted long, and I haven't initiated texts. And maybe this time could be different in that I could initiate a text or even pick up the phone. Why not? And just to remind myself, yeah, it would be great if it was just love at first sight and easy from there on out, but I'm going to need to practice a different skill set if I'm going to move further in this than I have before in other dates. And also not to limit myself to one guy and to continue dating and seeing what happens with that. But in general, I think it's really cool that even I was thinking about when I was thinking about the qualities I wanted to bring in, I even mentioned that I like getting little gifts and giving little gifts. And then this guy brought me a gift. So that was a really cool sign. And so I just also wanted to add to my list, I really want a partner who has high energy and I want to feel energized around them and I want to bring them energy. And so I think that going to the gym to meet guys is going to be a good idea to get that kind of a guy. And just a great thing to add to my list. I've also been thinking a lot more about money, how I want to be in a better place with money and how I would like to meet someone who's in a good place with money. So I feel like that's an important thing for the list too. That's all I've got for you today. I'm really excited about this guy. I'm excited about having such a good date, and I will keep you tuned in on what happens next.